Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the RockyMounts Monorail 2-bike platform rack here on our 2022 Toyota Highlander. So I'm a really big fan of this rack. I think it looks really good. It's pretty simplistic, but it just works really well as well, which is excellent. I really like these blue contact points as well, just letting us know exactly where we need to go to start manipulating our rack. So we do have a front tire hold system on this guy as well, which makes it ideal for things like your carbon frame bikes, or maybe some of their other bikes that might have some more irregularities in their frame, much like a women's bike, Scepter bikes, or kids bikes, just because we don't have to worry about any of those pesky frames. I just bring that down, and I'll go ahead and secure my bike, and that way I get to my destination, start having some fun. So we are going to have a 60-pound capacity rating per bike, which is going to make this excellent for even some of those big old heavy e-bikes, which is excellent. So we do have our lightweight carbon frame bike up on here, but again, can carry those electric bikes with no problem, which is excellent. Mountain bikes as well. I know we had some 48 inchers on here not too long ago, wheelbase wise, so it did a great job of holding on to that. And why that is because here in this back cradle, right, this is allowed to oscillate for our longer wheelbases, which is great. We have this strap here too to go ahead and start securing it. One thing I really like about the RockyMounts Monorail as well is you actually get a fat bike adapter kit with it as well, which is really cool. Now we don't have it on here today just because it's a little unwieldy, but it is nice that it actually comes with it, and I like that oscillating cradle again to allow us to account for our smaller or longer wheelbases. But talking about those longer wheelbases as we were, this front cradle here does a great job of giving us a really good backer. So even if we are hanging off with just a little bit on that back end, we'll have this nice solid strut to go ahead and make sure that our bike's going nowhere, and with conjunction with our front tire hold, it'll be nice and secure, which is excellent to see. So really do like that, which is excellent. And again, high capacity rating does just a great little job. Now, one thing I love about it as well, it can actually tilt away while our bikes are still on our carrier. To do that, we're going to come right down to this blue lever right here. I'm simply going to pull it, and that's going to allow me to actually push this and tilt it down. Now, I will say it gets quite low, and when you have that second bike on there, sometimes it can be a little awkward to get to. Don't feel afraid to go ahead and utilize these arms to really start helping you with that, which can be nice. But now I can come back here, I can open up my Highlander, open up that hatch. Now I can get those bike helmets, coolers, anything else I might need from the inside. Really nice to have this quick access for ourselves. Just go ahead and tilt out of the way. Whether at the trailhead, want to go ahead and get in here and change, or maybe we're just grocery shopping, right? Just doing a little errands on the way home. Nice that we have the capability of, even when our bikes are on there, to get that away from our hatch. Well, as that closes, I'm just simply going to support my mast here and simply walk it up. Once I have the necessary clearance, you're going to hear that click, and it is going to be nice and secure. No pins or clips to worry about. It just goes ahead, starts securing itself. That way, we're ready to haul our bikes one more time. Well, it really isn't going to take me too much longer to get the bike off. Let's go ahead and see how it's interacting here on the Highlander, though. As you guys can see, we are sitting just a little bit closer than maybe some of the other carriers I've seen today. Still very good distance between our tail light here, so I think we're going to have good admittance, as we are kind of sitting right in line with that. Now, with how our bikes are sitting on here today, people are probably going to see that A-okay, and again, with that distance between our vehicle, we should have no trouble letting people know when we are braking. Of course, we get our top cowling, so I think we're going to get a pretty good position. The one thing I will say, though, it is definitely going to be impacting our rear window here. You can see our post already kind of definitely starting to get in the way with that. Now, is it the end of the world? No, not at all. But it's definitely something to kind of have to keep in mind. And we do have a backup camera as well. Now, when you get two bikes loaded on here, you're probably going to lose a lot of your visibility. I am interested to see how this looks and it's folded up. Sometimes they sit just underneath it and look really pretty. Other times they slot right up onto it. So we definitely will take a look later on in the video. But as it stands, probably a decent amount of visibility from that backup camera. But as you load up two bikes, definitely going to be impacting it a lot, just like any other carrier out there. Well, to get our bike removed won't take me any time at all. So I'm going to press on that blue lever, once again letting me know where to go and start manipulating our rack. And go ahead and just push that guy out. That's going to allow me to take this strap out all the way off to the side and leave us with our last contact point on our bike. Since that is our last contact, let's make sure we are holding on our bike. We don't want that tilting into our vehicle or ourselves to cause any damage. We're going to bring ourselves right back to that lever system though, pressing on that, going up, out to the side, and that's going to let me take my bike here, walk it right off, and get ready to ride. Now mounting it becomes just as easy. The only thing I would say here, your strap kind of likes to get in the way every now and then. But as you guys can see, as it is right now, definitely not going to be impacting this too much. We can go ahead and just slot our wheel in, lock it down, and then start securing all of our straps, which is nice to see. So I'm just gonna go ahead and condense this down really quickly. What I like to do too with these arms, sometimes if you want, you can push this cradle just like so, take it as far out as you can, then take your system and just kind of push it in, and that'll keep it from opening up as well. But again, you have pretty good resistance on these guys. Nothing I'm going to be too concerned about, but it is just one little tip to help make sure we have no problems. So that's going to go ahead and secure that just like so. Now we are going to need to look at some dimensions here. The big one going to be how much clearance are we working with between the ground and our carrier, and secondly, how much length are we adding onto our Highlander, right? Already a long vehicle. Let's go ahead and take a look. So from the ground here today to the very end of our carrier, that's going to be putting us to the very end. It's right under 24, about 23 3/4 of an inch. At our closest point here on our platform, just because it sits pretty close to that measurement, that's going to be putting us at 21.5 to the top bracket, into our pull system, right at our pull lever here, right at 20 inches. So I think we're in a pretty good spot. Again, the Highlander sits up pretty high. Just keep in mind, as those front wheels go up, the back will go down, and so will your hitch mounted accessories. So if you are approaching a very steep incline, just kind of give it a watch. Make sure we're not approaching it too crazy. We should get there safe and sound. Now let's go ahead and see how much length we're actually adding to our Highlander here. So from the back of our bumper here today to the very end of our carrier, that's going to be putting us right at 34.5 inches there to the very back. So definitely not too much length, which is great to see. And we do have a way of quickly shortening that down. To do that, I'm going to bring myself right back here to this lever. Instead of going down, I'm going to tilt up and away, which is going to allow us to hold right here in this position. Not too much movement here, which is great. Pretty nice and aligned, and that way we have no issues hearing it or feeling it on the back of our vehicle, which is great. Now, a couple things to talk about here in this position. First one being, how much length did we just shave down, right? Let's go ahead and see that. From the back of the bumper here today to the very end of our carrier, that's putting us right now at 15 inches, which definitely isn't too bad. Let's go ahead and start breaking down some of the things we're seeing on this side of our platform, though. The big thing right out of the gate is going to be these little guys right here. If we wanted, we could actually offset our platform, which is really, really helpful for we have very similar bikes that their posts and their handlebars want to sit at the same level. We're going to go ahead and shift this around, and that way they're not interacting with each other, which is excellent. And on the inside here, you are seeing a little locking core on this little post. Now, this does come with an included cable lock as well to go ahead and run through both of your bikes back into this locking core position around that post. We can lock it in, have it nice and secured. That way, nobody can take our bikes when we leave them unattended. And moving our way down to the inside here too, we do have a 2-inch shank here today, held by our 2-inch hitch receiver with a threaded anti-rattle hitch bolt. And we do have a locking core that's actually not locked, just for demonstration purposes, but that actually just sits right there, and you can go ahead and actually secure this onto your vehicle, which is really, really nice, just to go ahead and make sure that nobody actually takes it when you leave it unattended. Now, that anti-rattle bolt is excellent. What that does, it actually is going to take all that shake and that play out. That way we have a way smoother ride for ourselves. And as I shake this, you guys can see it's actually in line with our Highlander, shaking the entirety of the car. It means all that shake and play is gone, making for a nicer, smoother ride for ourselves, our bike rack, but especially our bikes, which is great to see. So very standard across the industry, but definitely still very necessary, if you ask me, to make sure that you have a good experience of not having all your stuff taken. Overall, the RockyMounts really delivers. I just like that we're getting almost everything that we want. We have a cable lock, we have a hitch lock, we have just a decent way of 60 pounds capacity of actually getting us there, which is excellent. It just does everything you're really looking for, right? We're not having to add on another expenditure. It's just ready to go, ready to rip and rock, and right away just get our bikes started on there, which I love to see. It's got a good look to it too. Again, it's pretty simplistic, but I really do like that bloom. It's nice. It's going to be easy to stand out and let me know exactly where I need to go to manipulate my rack. No matter what those light conditions are, whatever it might be, I can go ahead, see that bright blue, start getting my bikes on there in no time, which is great. I like to see that it's not impacting our backup camera too bad here. Now, I think we are going to lose a lot of that southern hemisphere again. Probably a lot of being knocked out. Love that we're not interacting with our taillights here, and of course our window sits really, really nice here, just folded up against the back of the Highlander. Overall, I think the RockyMounts just delivers on almost anything you could ask for. If you're asking me, the only really good comparison of this guy is going to be that Kuat Envy, right? The 2.0. And up there, it's just a very premium, expensive bike rack. The only reason I maybe go that way, this guy can actually extend up to a 3-bike carrier, which is nice. But if you guys actually want the capabilities of getting 4 bikes on your platform style carrier, then I would look at the Kuat Envy. Yes, the Envy looks great. It's Kuat. It looks amazing. It does pretty much everything you want this guy to do, though. And in that regards, again, If you're looking at 3 bikes, this is the way to go. If eventually you're looking at 4, maybe look at the Kuat Envy. But they're pretty much giving you the same thing. And I think the RockyMounts delivers without having to break the bank to do so, which is excellent to see. Otherwise, though, guys, I think that about does it for our look here today at the RockyMounts Monorail 2-bike platform rack here on our 2022 Toyota Highlander. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. And finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.